So yesterday was a huge day. I'm still thinking about everything that happened, but what we did was Payman and I arranged this community outing at this secret Afghani bakery. Payman and I went, and obviously we scouted the place to make sure that it's a good meeting place for the community, but also, you know, we had to taste some of that food too. Now, later on in the evening, we came back to meet our community, and they went straight there. And we sat down and we told them that we want to bring Wild Peeta back and for them to advise us. And like I said, their advice has always been helpful to us. When we first started, they got us through some extremely hard times. And as a startup, I think it's super valuable to hear people's perspective, you know, and it's a privilege, you know. And the way we think about it is when somebody gives you their advice, somebody gives you their perspective, it's because they care. And we definitely listen, and we take it seriously, and we value it. So here's what happened. Want to? No? You know the answer to that. So here's the thing, people. You know I don't do dairy, right? Okay, I make exceptions, but it has to be exception. But not this time.
They've done a good job. Now, if I were to score this, Mohammed, to your question, I'd probably score this a 78. The cool thing about this place is a spot that I love just around the corner, and you need a karak for it. Let me explain.
Hey, who introduced you to that spot next door?
Hats off to you, of course. So the twist over here is that they've just introduced 3 different types of naans, and it's the same exact naan, as good as ever, except now you can get them stuffed with potatoes, ground beef with keema, or with just sesame on top of it. Innovation. So what are we having, man?
That's the question. What do you think?
I like the one with the meat.
Okay.
Yeah? Let's give that a shot.
So we're here with the owner of the bakery, and we're just having a chat. And I thought, you know what, let's put this on film. So, is it you?
Mohammed Ishaq.
Okay. His name is. So I'm gonna translate. Okay. So he's gonna talk to me. I'm gonna translate into English for you guys. So the gentleman's name is Mohammed Ishaq. شما همه برادر هستین یا دوست هستین؟
ما اینجا یک جای هستیم. همین 2 تا رفقای ما برادر هستن. ما 2 تا دیگه که هستیم. همین تا دوست هستیم. همین یک دانه چطور که جگه دور بره.
So the story is they're friends, okay? So brothers, friends, but they're all from the same place as Afghanistan. So from the same place in Afghanistan. So we're speaking in Farsi. I'm trying to speak Farsi. I think we're getting across. But he's saying that Farsi is taught and spoken in Afghanistan. So now we can communicate. چند سال شما اینجا هستید؟
ما با دبی 2 سال اینجا هستم.
شما قبل از این اصلا نون درست نکردید؟
ما وقت اصلا بیخی نان درست نکرده بودم اینجا آمدم بس تازه می کار شروع کردم اینجا یاد گرفتم نان درست کردن.
So they just started 2.5 years ago and moved here from Afghanistan, and they're like, let's open up a bakery. But the cool thing is, he's saying, and he's one of the bakers by the way, that he hadn't baked before that. And I'll tell you, the bread here is amazing. It's amazing. Of course, everybody makes bread, but it's really cool that they just started 2.5 years ago, and he didn't have any experience on making bread before that. How awesome is that?
All right, so it's ready, huh?
Okay, so here it is. So imagine a stuffed paratha, except it's Afghani bread. And in the middle is spicy minced meat. They put some other spices in there as well. And then they brush it with some butter and oil on top. Trust me, it's good. Maybe we'll wait for a little while until it gets cold.
Oh man, that looks amazing. Tell me what it tastes like, man.
Tastes like heaven.
This is like a combination of Afghani bread fused into lahm bajeen.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So this is our secret Afghani bakery.
This is gonna be a great place, Mohammed, to bring the community. They're gonna like it.
It's something which we all felt we created together, and I think that's what it was. The people, the community, in fact, the fact that all of us turned up today is actually what we love about Wild Peeta.
I think you're the first Emirati guys who knew me by my name, It's been, I was staying in the country for almost 6 years, and it was the first Emirati guys I would say, okay, he knows my name. And that thing, and plus, of course, the food and the experimentation. I'm like, coming there, meeting other people, that used to bring me to Wild Peeta. That's what made love, and that's why I'm here today.
The promise of good fresh food, and the community and the good time with everyone there. The comedy, just a really chill vibe with, in a space that was nice and not creepy.
It was a social space more than it was a restaurant. The food was a condiment to going to Wild Peeta and chilling with, playing board games, just mucking about, whatever. The food was good, but it wasn't the main thing. It was the entire experience, and food was only part of it. And that's the point of Wild Peeta. It was I'm going to hang out, and it was a great place to just chill.
It was a very strong sense of community. You had people come together over good food, but it really brought up, the online nerds together and feel like we belong somewhere.
The first piece of advice, I think, do it again. That's what I would do. But don't make the same mistakes. That will be dumb. In fact, make new ones. So let's do that together. Let's make some new mistakes together.
Once you have the strategy in place, not to completely fall in love with it, but to be flexible and start very, very small. Very few SKUs, do something very small, very, very good, and then scale up after a while.
Make sure that it's a viable business. It's not for the community alone, but it's also to make sure that it makes enough money so that you can scale it up, you can multiply it.
Be logical about things, I suppose. There's certain mistakes made, I suppose, that you shouldn't repeat. A smaller space is something that would work better, because that was one of the biggest concerns you guys had last time. And apart from that, I would say nothing else, because it worked as a community. It worked as to create friendships, to break friendships, I would suppose, in some ways. But whatever worked last time worked well, and I would say just do the same thing, just scale it down, I suppose.
Wild Peeta has a significant amount of social coverage and popularity, and you guys know how to talk about yourself, and that's fine. You need to make sure that you can stand out from the pokies and the swishes and shawar manji and kebab manji and all the other variations. That's what you got to do, and that's what will make or break you.
We have to think of it as a viable business. It has to be beyond love. The people who love you, people who are a part of your community will come. but we need to make this successful, we need a wider audience, and for that wider audience we need to make sure what is a viable business. And for that, I believe if you're planning to work with an operator, you need to find an operator who works according to what you are planning to do. Find that, make it a reasonable, in the sense, operation which people want to use again and again and again, not once. And for that, I think you need to have a focused, very focused, limited menu to start with, and then try to make that successful thing replicate and have a lot of these Wild Peetas.
Dubai is a transiting place, and most of us are expats here. And like this place was actually home. I mean, like you could see your like-minded people, and you can come have a chat. You can have, and I mean, like watch from the virtual world. We used to have a reality place where we can see each other. I don't think there's no other space in Dubai which provided that.
Should you do it? Yes. If you believe in it, if this is really something you want to do, yes, I would say completely go ahead with it. Do something that you're passionate about, and this is something you're passionate about, so you should do it. Yeah.
One thing that Payman and I both appreciate about our community is their brutal honesty, and it's something that I think intimidates a lot of people, but for us, you know, we behave like students. We sit there and we listen and we try and answer as honestly as possible, because at the end of the day, their goal is to keep us honest. Okay, so we are excited. We're super excited. It's feeling real, more and more real every single day. We got super positive vibes from our community, and we feel like, just like before, we're not going to be going through this alone. We have our tribe. We have our Wild Peeta.